Hello and welcome to Wizard World Virtual Experiences. I'm Victor Danders, the hardest working man in comics. We are streaming to you live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, bringing you that Comic-Con life to the comfort of your home with these free industry panels. You can also nab some paid exclusive experiences, included private one-on-one video chats, custom recorded messages, and autographs, all on sale at wizardworldvirtual.com. Those will be on sale throughout the whole week, so if you are only watching even just a replay, you can still nab those. I believe you have till the 6th of February to sign up for these cool things. So definitely jump on board with those. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to bring to the virtual stage. We're going to talk to the stars of animation. And we're going to start off. She's already here. So let's just jump on with her. Miss Olivia Dabo, hello.
Hello, and how are you guys doing today?
Oh my God, absolutely fantastic. I'm such an Invader Zim fan, so to have you here is wonderful. Attack is one of my favorite characters, so that definitely works. Let's bring out some more folks. From Futurama, she plays Amy Wong. Let's hear for Miss Lauren Tom. Hello.
Oh, wait. Do I have to?
Yeah, click the thing to bring your video back. And
Okay.
There you are. Hello.
Yay.
There we go.
No challenge. Hi, everybody.
I love it. We're going
Hi,
to keep this fun
Lauren.
going. From the regular show, he plays the voice of Rigby. Let's hear for William Salyers, aka Bill, for this one. This is friendly. Bill, how we doing,
right.
man?
Just great, man. I'm thrilled to be here, Victor.
I love it. Thank you so very much for joining us. From Shimmer and Shine, okay? She plays Princess Samira. Hello. Let's hear for Nikki Suhu. Hey!
Everybody, thanks for having me.
Hello. And last but certainly not least, from Steven Universe, does the voice of Pearl and so many iterations therein. Let's hear it for Dee Dee Magno Hall. Hello.
Hi!
Hey, I love it.
Hi, everybody.
Listen, this is amazing. Okay, let me just tell you, when I say that we have people from all over the world watching, I got to give a shout out to all our fans that are on right now. Okay, so we're talking from Canada, London, Europe, Texas, Cali, Washington, Oregon, New Jersey, Massachusetts, France, Michigan, Wisconsin, Indonesia. Okay, we got
Oh my
people from Indonesia
gosh.
watching right now.
Amazing.
This is fantastic. First and foremost, how is everybody doing? How was your new year? Is everyone doing okay? Staying safe and sane?
Thank
Kinda?
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yes.
New
say-
energy for 2021. I can feel it, and I just feel like it's onwards and upwards in the best way from here on out.
Well, Victor,
Yes.
you say safe and sane like it's a package deal, and I just
Well, I'm
want to point out
hoping.
that definitely safe.
Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
mean, if there's, you can get
Yeah,
some
but-
sane from Amazon right now. They're still delivering that right now,
Yeah, well,
aren't
that's
they?
great.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
double checking. Okay, so I'm a huge animation fan. I adore it. It shaped me as a child, and I love being able to be an adult who enjoys it even more. So we're gonna start off with this classic question: are you a fan of animation, and who was your favorite animated character growing up? Yeah,
Oh my
that's right.
gosh.
That's right.
I would.
Well,
I
wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
I loved Fat Albert, and
Yes!
I mean that's what I'm talking about. That
Fat
was like,
Albert.
for me.
No one
the-
says that. That's amazing, Olivia. I love that.
all of the characters on that show, I think, really just defined a whole new platform for animation. And I just think, it's timeless, it's classic. So that's my favorite.
I love that. Hey. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey. Nice.
My favorite was because I was a bit of a spacey kid.
Okay.
I loved the Jetsons.
Hey.
Oh,
I love
yes.
anything to do with the future and in space and a retro. Retro. Love dogs.
That's not prophetic at all. You like future stuff? Really? No.
I'd have to go with The Simpsons only because that was like our family show, like
Yes.
every dinner. And it just reminds me of being with my family and everyone just watching together.
Oh my God, I love that. Dee Dee, what about you?
I grew up watching all of the Disney animation movies, and then I also I remember Strawberry Shortcake and the Gummy Bears.
Yes. Classics.
Yes.
Absolute classics. Yes.
You
Bill?
know, and I'm gonna be like the expected guy and say I grew up with Bugs Bunny, and not
There we
you know,
go.
the original Bugs, but he'd been on the air for like 30 years by that time. You know what I mean? Like never got old, and I was I was able to appreciate it as a kid and see the silly stuff and laugh at that. And then my mother would be making me breakfast for school, and she'd be like, and I'd say, "What's so funny about that?" She'd say, "Never mind, never
You'll
mind,
find
kid."
out when you're older.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that was something that I really appreciated, was the kind of writing in animation that could span a wide generational volume.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so just to give a quick fan shout out, Mixel Fan Juan 95 says we have Tack Pearl Rigby number 3, Amy Wong. This is fantastic, and I am fanboying right now. So you guys are creating so many feels already. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so here's the thing. We have different styles of animation present right now. Okay, all your different styles of shows, whether they are a little bit more kid centric, whether they're traditional 2D animation, more 3D animation. Here's the biggest misconception of animated series is that it's strictly for kids. But what is the another misconception that people have about animated series?
That they can't be deep or really move you.
That is so true.
So like in that scene in Futurama where the dog is
you talked about it so early. Oh, it wasn't. you can't just bring that up right away. You gotta ease into that one.
Well, every time that gets me. And then plus put in a little plug, because we're all trying to look for little pockets of joy these days. I'm not in this, but the movie Soul that's on the Pixar.
Yes, Disney Plus right now.
Disney Plus, try to catch that because it's really uplifting.
Yes.
And so when I saw that, I felt like, well, maybe I do contribute something to the world with animation, because
yes.
I kind of feel a little bit like a bum, but because it's not, like cancer research or something that seems more serious. But I think that, but it can go deeper, and also I guess just adding some joy to people's lives is.
I'd like to piggyback really quickly on what Lauren said about being able to go deep with animation, and I'll just bring up BoJack Horseman.
Oh, my favorite!
Great one.
Yeah, I mean, they can. There's something about the anthropomorphism that lets them deal with the heaviest stuff. And, I don't even know if I could stand watching it if it was coming out of regular human mouths,
That's so true. There is a truth that you're able to accept, and it's that much easier. And I agree.
I can't tell you how many times I've met so many fans of Steven Universe just talking about how many feels they feel watching that show, and so many roller coaster rides of emotions that you can feel just watching that show. And it's also fun and beautiful to look at, and the music is moving as well. So I think that absolutely there's emotion in animation.
I think a lot of relatability, even like, did you guys watch the animation Bao?
Yes.
It was so good.
Dumpling. And I think
Beautiful.
that it really tells about Asian American culture or Asian culture in such a relatable way, but yet it would have been different if they had used humans actually, like for that. It, like, you conveyed a lot of what needed to be said in a cute way, essentially.
Right. That's absolutely amazing, and so very true. I'm gonna jump back into some fan questions before I really get into my other ones. So Evelyn Grundy, who I hope I said that correctly, who is tuning in from Indonesia, amazing, wants to know your origin stories for being voice actors. How did you get into voice acting? And Nikki, do you want to start?
Sure, because I actually have to me it's a crazy story, because I have come more so from the acting world of being on like film and TV as myself, not in animation. But when I first started in acting, I got a voiceover agent, Imperium 7, and they just so lovingly picked me up. I auditioned for 10 years.
Wow.
Before I booked anything.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I cannot believe these people still believe in me. And like, I couldn't believe they supported me for so long. And then I finally like got in the door, and then that kind of opens up a lot more doors once you're in. But yeah, it was it was kind of crazy for me because I just kept trying. And mind you, you know, voiceover auditions, you're going in at least 2 to 5 times a week. And I'm doing it for 10 years and not booking anything. And I'm like, oh gosh, is this for me? People are like, are you sure? You still want to do this? Like, hey, giving me the opportunity, I'm going to try. I'm either going to get better or I'm going to make the connections to get there eventually.
That's right. That's right. Olivia, what
I'm
about
going
you?
to jump in here because Nikki, I'm also with Imperium 7, who I love. I think they're amazing. I think we're so blessed to be with them. I think they really get, you know, artists, both actors, because they represent people theatrically as well as for voiceovers and commercials. But, you know, I think what I find interesting, you're also an actress, as am I. In front of the camera, I have actually found that voice acting has made me a better actor. And I think reason being is that when you take an animation character, let's say you have an audition, you have to, there's no visual there, that you're not in front of the camera. So you're literally taking audio, your voice, and you're trying to define a character literally just with your voice. So there's some kind of, you're just picking up on the local osmosis of the character if they give you a visual of the way the character looks, and usually that's temporary, it could be subject to change. And I think it's a wonderful creative artistic challenge to just get inside that character and bring it to life just with your voice. And then the animators will take that and sometimes, you know, enhance the way they see the character. When I was doing playing Luminara on Clone Wars, Star Wars, and Jane on Tarzan and Jane, and even Tak and Invader Zim, you know, I'm sure you guys have the same situation where the animators are sometimes in the room with you. So when they cast you, it's an incredible opportunity for this kind of like collective creation, for them to pick up on your body language, your expressions, and really bring the character to life as much as you are in the audio way.
I love that. I love that.
So
I just want to say that I am
amazing.
also with Imperium 7, and clearly they are the powerhouse agency in Los Angeles.
That's what I'm talking about. I was gonna say, am I the only one that's not with Imperium? What do I need to talk to? What do I need to? Okay, all right. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. Thank you. Lauren, tell me about your origin with this.
Oh, okay. So I started out as, you know, acting in theater and film and TV also, and you're sweet. And my first audition for an animated show was King of the Hill. And I just went in as like I would for any audition, and there were like a ton of people in the room with a microphone there, and that was like Nikki said, once you get your first one, you're kind of in.
Right.
And then you kind of get passed around. So I think it's just breaking in to that first one. And so that was just such a gift that dropped in my lap, because it was such a wonderful group of people, and it lasted a long time, and I miss everybody. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a great show.
Yes.
Amazing show.
Yes, like seriously. Bill, how did you get started?
I kind of fell into it accidentally. A buddy of mine, Scott Adsit, who is Baymax and Big Hero 6, and big Second City guy if you're an improv fan. He and I met when I was doing some theater here in LA with his, at that time, girlfriend. And he was pitching a show to Adult Swim called Moral Oral. And yes, it's dark comedy.
Yes, yes.
But he asked if I would come in. He said they had the whole first season recorded, but they weren't happy with one of the voices, and he asked me if I would come in to read for it. And I knew enough about animation and the voiceover world to know that I would have zero chance at getting a role like that.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, I thought this is, Scott's, he's trying to do me a solid, be a nice guy.
Right.
I was getting ready to go do some theater somewhere out of town, and I was in a hurry, and I was like, well, I don't want to be a jerk about it. I'll just go in and read. And his partner, Dino Stamatopoulos, said, Well, but you've done stuff like this before, right? And I was so unaffected by it all. I was like, not really. I was just, and so I wasn't at all nervous, and I did the reading, and I booked the role. And then with that, I was able to get I-7, and then that led to the audition for regular show.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. Dee Dee, what about you?
I started also with television and film. First, I did some theater, and when I was in New York, I was connected with a jingles agency or management. So I started out doing jingles, and then was thinking, well, I love singing, and I've always wanted to, be in an animated film, voice a cartoon character, and then if that character is able to sing, even better. And so when I came out to Los Angeles to pursue more television and film, I actually ended up doing more theater and stage shows. But I was connected with Imperium 7 through my theatrical agent at the time, and I auditioned for many television shows, cartoons, commercials, what have you, and I just wasn't booking anything for a really long time. It felt like thousands and thousands. And then the role of Pearl in Steven Universe came up, and I actually auditioned for Sadie and Pearl at the same time. And then, a couple of more auditions coming later after that, I finally booked my first big television show, cartoon, and it's been such a huge blessing in my life. I'm still waiting to be passed around.
It's coming.
But hey, I am loving that Steven Universe still exists in the world, that there's so many people who love and embraced that show. I'm so grateful. Most of, if not all, my followers on Instagram are from Steven Universe, so I thank you very much, Rebecca Sugar.
Yes, indeed. One of the best theme songs in all of animation. Let me just throw that out there. It's so true. So you all have amazing resumes under your belt. What does it mean for you to be recognized for your voice? Is that something different? Is that something unique? And is there a funny story that you might have of somebody realizing audially who you are? Bill, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, well, the funny thing about it, to me, is that there are many people who don't consider voice acting.
I'll fight them all. Point them out. Just point at them.
I like you, Victor.
I got you.
No, you know what? I was with my wife getting our taxes done several years ago with a new accountant, and she was saying, "Well, your work must be so interesting." I said, "Yeah, it really is." And her husband was home. They're working out of their house, and she called in the next room. "Hey, honey, Bill is a voice actor, and it's way better than acting."
It's still acting.
Yeah, that's right. We don't just come up with a silly voice.
Right.
But I am not recognized for my voice that much. It's one of the things that I love is that I can out myself or not.
Okay.
I could be at a back in. I'm so old. I remember when we used to do these live with other people in the room, and it's really something to be in a hotel lobby and talking to a waiter or whatever and signing your name. Nobody bothers you. Nobody knows you. And then you go across the street and you're a celebrity. And I kind of like that.
No, that is nice. That's very nice. But how does no one hear you? Like, I hear Rigby with every syllable that you say. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the visual context says so much to our brains.
Of course.
It's I really loved meeting like really little fans, like 3, 4, 5 years old, because they'd be like, "No, you're not a raccoon."
Oh, you got me. You got me.
They're like, I'm a kid. I'm not stupid. You are not a raccoon. Like they don't make that leap yet, which I kind of dig.
But I am Rigby. I swear. Like, are you? Turn around. Let me see you.
You're kind of furry, but you're not furry enough.
You're too tall. No, you're too tall. That's what it is. Olivia, what about you? I mean, you've been on television, movies for a wonderful career. how many people actually just hear you and know who you are?
Okay, well, that's an interesting question. I think the biggest discovery that I've found about people who follow my work is the Tak character from Invader Zim. Because she's so insane and she's such a kind of, you know, I got weenies for everybody. You know, he's just like, you know, where are the people come up to me and go, so where are the weenies? I mean, where are they? I mean, you gotta have them, you know.
You gotta have those. This is you now. This is what we expect.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll be right back. Well,
call the police. They're wanting the weenies.
Who do I start with? So I think because that show and then the film that we did for Netflix that just came out, it's just such an amazing thing about that show because it's 20 years ago that we did this show. It was on Nickelodeon, and it was always seen as being very ahead of its time. But the following with people who were kids at that age, now 20 years later, and then they've had kids, and then their kids like it. Mm-hmm. So those are the most insane, devoted fans, I think, from what I've experienced as a voiceover actor. Then Luminara from Clone Wars, I think it's more like my own voice. So people have stopped me and said, are you the voice of Luminara in, awesome. You know, Rise and Fall of Skywalker or Clone Wars? That's the thing I'm sort of associated with currently the most. But I think I answered the question.
You did. You totally did. No, you absolutely did. Absolutely. Lauren, what about you? Have you had any fun experiences of people recognizing your voice?
Well, some of the sweetest tweets that I get or on social media are, you know, I can't believe that's the same person in Ghost of Tsushima as Kids Next Door. Mind blown. Because
I mean,
number
that's
two,
strange.
And then like Ghost of Tsushima was like way down here. So, but there every once in a while I get one that'll say something like this one gal was watching Supernatural and said, I knew that was Amy from Futurama. And I was like, really? Because I was really trying to lower my voice.
That's studying. That's fandom. That's what that is.
But maybe, you know, anyway, it's still, you know, the basic you-ness still kind of comes through anyway.
I love that. I love that. Nikki, what about you?
Well, interestingly, I think that my normal voice is pretty distinct. Mm-hmm. That like whenever I walk into a normal room or people will hear me on TV, like as in front of the camera and be like, oh, she's on, and like know that I'm there. But most of the voiceover stuff that I book is not my normal voice, actually. So for like Star Wars Resistance, I play, you know, a 6-year-old. And then for Shimmer and Shine, also my clientele there is, or, you know, they're like 6. Like
your audience. Yeah.
You know, so their mom will be like, this is Princess Samira. And then they'll just be like, you know, like so confused. Or I'll record like little things for them and then they'll just be so excited. But if they see me, yeah, they're confused because they're like, you don't look like that person.
Your hair's the wrong color. That's what it is. Wrong color hair. Yeah.
So yeah, interestingly, people can hear my normal voice when I'm normal, but not through animation. Even if I do it for them, even if I'm like, Shimmer and Shine, welcome to my palace. You know, they're like, no, that's not you.
Oh, so you're a fan of the show. Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
Good impression. You're like, no, that's really me. Okay. Yeah. That's amazing.
I literally like play it and then do it. And they're like, nah.
I've gotten the same thing. I've gotten the same where people don't believe that I'm me. And I'm like, if I could pretend to be someone, you think it would be William Salyer?
I mean, yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes, because
I'm thinking like Martin Sheen. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you're up there. You're up there. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes.
All right, Dan.
Before I get to you, Didi, I want to give this love letter here. Kajda Chan says, "Heyo, I'd love to thank Didi for literally living Pearl's character. She's taught me a lot and helped me to find myself. Didi does such an amazing job voice acting, and she's also a really sweet human being." So that's just a bundle of roses that I have to share right there.
Oh, thank you. That was very sweet.
I know, right? So is there a time where you've been, recognized by just your voice?
Well, I thought of this one time. My voice on as Pearl is very similar to my natural voice. It's just sort of an exaggerated, more emotional voice. But I remember going to pick up my oldest son at middle school, and I had to bring my little guy, my youngest, with me because he was not yet a school age. But I was in the office waiting for my oldest son to come. He was getting called from the attendance room, and my little guy was climbing the furniture, and so I had to reprimand him. I mean, he was climbing the furniture in the school, and so I turned around and I just said, I said, "Get down from there! Do not climb the furniture," or something. And my voice was sort of excited. And not 2 seconds later, one young gentleman turned around and said, and my back was to him, and he says, "Excuse me, are you Dee Dee Magno Hall?" And I was shocked.
Wow.
First of all, I was in the middle school. I had not a stitch of makeup on. My hair was pulled back, and I was wearing sweats. And I'm like, yes.
You want to admit this right now?
I was like, yes. And he goes, "Oh, I love Steven Universe. I love you as Pearl." He says, "Can I get a selfie?" So I was like, of course. But that really threw me. I was not expecting that in my son's middle school. So that really was a nice.
That's a huge compliment, and really such a perfect age demographic to hear you on a regular basis. Okay, so animation can be one of the most inclusive. I'm sorry.
I said, you just need to yell at your kid more.
Yes, yes. And then everybody's like, "That's Pearl, that's Pearl, I know her."
Oh no! I don't want them to associate Pearl with yelling all the time.
Pearl is all about the order, though. That's what it is. She needs everything to be in an order. See, there it is. Animation can be one of the most inclusive pop cultural art forms, but there's been a recent critique about using non-direct representative actors for roles. Do you think that opens up more opportunities to be creative, or is there an unfortunate side that might bring about? Would you be limited in if you only had roles that specifically act like you do?
I mean, I think that is one of the most amazing things about animation is the fact that people can traverse age and race and gender and species. Like literally people are playing aliens and animals and stuff like that. I do support representation in cast in general. Like whoever is composing an entire cast, I would hope would be actually diverse on the backside. But whatever they're playing, I don't care, go for it. I think that's the beauty of animation. That's different than on camera. We can only go so far when we look a certain way, but
of course.
I think I had a fan sort of, I think, try to almost provoke me on that topic. It was like, well, don't you feel like you should be able to voice anything? Why should you be limited? And my response to that was, yeah, of course I feel like I should be able to voice anybody and anything. And if there had been equity in casting all along, then this wouldn't be an issue right now. It's in the nature of humans that we tend to address problems with a pendulum swing. And right now the pendulum is swinging back in a direction that it needed to be for a long time. And so if there's a role or two that I'm not asked to read for, then that's okay.
Respect that 100%. And it also speaks to the beautiful nature that animation can affect people. There is that clip that's gone around on TikTok and other places of Pearl breaking down facets of Black history that people did not know. And that's something that the style of animation, the format of Steven Universe, the context of Steven Universe has been able to speak to so well that, beyond that, that's all I could ever ask for is that truth to come out. And it's fantastic that you were a part of that. So thank you for that. Of course. Okay. So we've got Edward is cool 93 has a question. William, are you like Rigby in real life? And for everyone else, are there characters that you relate to on a personal level? So we'll start with you, Bill.
Yeah, Rigby is just me on too much caffeine. But I try to sort of moderate my Rigby tendencies. Like I won't necessarily grab the last piece of pizza, but
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I'll tell you.
Right. Might do it, but not. Okay.
Yeah, but being Rigby was a blast because I got to like act out all of my worst impulses. So.
That's amazing.
So I guess maybe I'm okay. Yeah, I'm like
the true confession comes. He's like, okay, yeah, that's true.
I'm done, guys.
Come back. Lauren, what about you? How similar are you?
I do relate to Amy Wong's ditziness a little bit.
This is the sweetest thing. You're like, maybe.
Something I need to embrace,
Okay.
I've always been a little bit like that. And as I get older, I try to grow into more of the wise woman.
Of course.
But there's a certain lightness that Amy's had, but I don't think I've been as slutty, but it was a fun character to play, and it it was a pretty close to my own voice. I just made her a little bit younger, when I first started doing that character. But yeah, and then Connie from King of the Hill, who was only 12,
right,
was kind of this pulled in teenager, which was very close to how I was when I was 12, and I grew up in an all white Jewish neighborhood. And felt kind of like there was no other Asian family in the whole town.
Right.
So I really kind of related to that character too.
Oh, wow. Nikki, what about you? Bless you, by the way. I'm sorry, not to call out your sneeze, but what about you? Do you relate a lot to Princess Samira?
I think that any character that I do, there's always some essence of me that's getting pulled into the character. And interestingly, what I've noticed is a lot of times I'll get cast for whatever way they write it, and then somehow they always end up pulling more parts of me into it as it progresses. They're like, just make her a little bit more like this, and then I'll be like, oh, that's just more me. That's just more normal me. Okay.
So you've been talking to me a bit. Okay.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to play a princess, or who hasn't played, pretend princess their entire lives? So it's really fun to get to be one, especially in the booth, because I'm over there and I'm just like, let's just make this happen. Like, I'm just like, la-di-da, here we go, and voila.
I love it. Now, Dee Dee, you already kind of expressed that you are similar to Pearl with the sharp voice when you're commanding attention. Are there other ways that you're like Pearl?
I guess I'm like Pearl in the way that I like things done just so.
Okay.
And if I want things to be done my way, then I have to do it my way. I have a hard time with delegating, tasks at home. But what I'm not like Pearl is that I do love to eat.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair. Yeah. Certainly in after 2020, eating is good. I
know,
yes.
I know. I love food.
Now, Olivia, I was going to ask this question, but there's another one that popped up, and it's not voice acting related. So this one only you can really do. Can you talk a bit of the process of how you were chosen to star in Conan the Destroyer? This is from Justin Grams. So this is,
sure.
yes.
One thing I just wanted to add about animation is I have the characters that I identify with the most are prepubescent boys. That's kind of like a real niche. I think it's because I raised my son and I saw him go through that time period, but I haven't actually gotten to play one yet on air. I did one for a Fox pilot, so that was really, really fun and a great challenge. As far as Conan the Destroyer, that came about, it was an audition, and I had done my first film, and there was some a little bit of controversy about it coming out, and people were sort of excited about it, but it was also kind of an edgy film. So that then got me in the door for Conan the Destroyer. Now, incidentally, I had been obsessed with playing princesses since I was a little girl. I used to draw them. We had an au pair back in London called Marianique, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to paint. We are going to draw princesses today, and maybe one day you're going to play one." And so, lo and behold, this opportunity came along. Joanna Ray, the casting director, got me in. I met with the great Richard Fleischer, and my last audition was with Rafaela De Laurentiis in her office on the Universal lot, and she was seriously Italian, obviously. And she's like, "Olivia, what is it about this character that you think is going to bring this princess to life? I want to know why you think you can play Jenna." And I'm like, well, because I think I really am a princess at heart.
Boom.
And I've dreamt of it since I was a little girl. And so I brought that joy and that dreamlike state. You know, we have dreams as children, and mine very much came into reality. And I just brought all of that into the role, the imaginary life of being regal and
I love it.
being omnipotent. So that's sort of how that went.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. We've got a couple of comments. I Hate Vegetables is on here. It says, all of you folks do such excellent work, giving much life to the characters you play. And I wholeheartedly agree. Eddie Thane says, hey, from KC, great panel, guys. Glad to see you guys are all fans of each other's work, just as we are fans of you, which is absolutely true. We are okay, so we're getting tight on time, so I'm gonna end this up with two things. Okay, so the first one is kind of borrowed from TikTok, as I mentioned earlier. Let's play Voice Actor Confessions 5-finger edition. So if everyone would put their hand up like this, and every time that I say something that you're guilty of, you put a finger down. Okay, are you ready? So we're gonna see who is standing at the end here. Okay, so put a finger down if you've ever been caught using your character voice outside of work. Dee Dee, go ahead and put your finger down. We got that one. Okay. So put your finger down if you've mimicked a voice of a character that you weren't cast for. So whether that's okay. All right. Good admissions. Put a finger down if you've ever forgotten how to hold your character's voice during a recording. That's amazing. Put a finger down if you've ever called a castmate by their character name. Okay. All right. And last but not least, put a finger down if you've accidentally said something inappropriate in your character's voice. That is amazing. Okay. So yeah, I was gonna say, so we've only got a couple of people with fingers up still. Okay, so we're gonna have to work on that. This has been absolutely amazing. The last thing that I want to do before we get out of here is to wish a very happy belated birthday to Olivia, who had a birthday last week. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday.
Yes, indeed. I want to give everyone an opportunity to say bye to the fans. And Olivia, we'll start with you.
It's just been such a pleasure in the company of all these incredible actors, master thespian voice actors and actors. It's a great honor, and what a wonderful way to spend a Sunday. And thank you guys all so much globally, Indonesia, Europe, all over the USA, all over the globe. I think this is an opportunity for us to all come together and be joyful and laugh and get to know each other a little better.
Absolutely. Lauren?
Oh, I just want to say thank you as well to everybody out there who's been a supporter of one of my shows and all of the shows on this panel. It's been so fun to get to know some of you. I've met, I think I've met Olivia once before, really quick. But you guys have no idea how much you lift us up. And so really thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And you do have like a week to go. And I just want to put in a really quick little plug. My proceeds are going to Homeboy Industries, which is an organization that I've supported for more than a decade. They do amazing work. And if you want to help support them, that would be just so wonderful. So, and I do that because it just makes me feel so good. It's not like, oh, I'm really like so like good person. I just love the way that it makes me feel, just like right now.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Dee Dee?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this panel with all of you. Thank you to all the fans who are tuning in, who have supported. I miss you guys. I miss face-to-face convention. I miss just being in the room with people. This is also just a nice way to connect, and I'm grateful for it. I just want to encourage everybody to spread love and joy and kindness to everyone. And I love you guys.
Thank you. Nikki?
Well, can I just ditto everybody?
I mean,
everything that everyone says is just so amazing. But I guess I'll reiterate and,
there you go.
you know, say I feel very honored to be on a panel with such amazing talent. Because to me, sometimes I'm like, I got really lucky. Somehow I ended up with a job in voice acting, and I don't know if I count. But this is actually my first animation panel, like for me being brought on for my voice. So thank you all for letting me share this screen with you, and for everybody who has tuned in and supported, because I think, you know, as everyone has kind of mentioned, you guys are such a huge part of the motivation to like keep creating, because getting these moments to connect with you is like one of the best moments of why we do what we do, is to see people that appreciate the work that we do, and to hear and connect and talk with them. It is the most fulfilling. It is one of the most fulfilling parts for sure. And I really loved what Lauren did. And since I was like, that is such a great idea. I'm going to make my proceeds go to my favorite nonprofit, which is they're called Awaken Arts, and we teach art to at-risk youth as a tool for healing and as an outlet of positive expression. So instead of, you know, ending up dropping out of school or in the jail system or on the streets or doing whatever they're doing, they can transform those talents into a more productive and creative way that can benefit them and society.
A really quick question. Can you put those two charities on the YouTube comments? So
we will definitely add those to the chat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that is so amazing. I mean,
yes.
This whole thing for me is about connecting, and it is about spreading kindness and love and goodness, just as Dee Dee said. And so I really like that whole thing. So I'm going to do that.
That's
anytime
awesome.
I'm on a panel like this. I want to do that exact thing. So thank you all for having me and for being a part of my first animation panel.
You did fabulously. Bill?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna echo everybody, but the thing of it is, the people on this panel represent so much talent from so many great things that I have enjoyed so much of my life, that it is kind of amazing to find myself in their company. And I also just want to say that it's really cool that it is so, the panel was so female heavy, that it was that
yes.
We've got 4 women here. You know, it's just really cool because it's kind of unusual, you know.
That's true.
And it shouldn't be. But thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of it. And the only thing that I would plug, coming up sometime, I think around June, they're going to come out with Back for Blood, which is the video game. It's a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, which everybody was
nice.
Pretty excited about, and I get to be one of the main player characters in that, a guy by the name of Hoffman. So look for it and come hunt zombies with me.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to echo everything you all said and say thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your light, your talent with all of us. This has been an absolute adventure, and I've loved every bit of it. Thanks to WizWorld for bringing us together. Don't forget, if you're watching live now or a replay later on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, we've got paid celebrity events next week. So all those things drop on the 7th. So you have until the 6th of February to sign up for the private 101 video chats, autographs, all those cool things. So please sign up for those at wizworldvirtual.com. Once again, I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics, saying thank you for spending the weekend with us. You guys have a wonderful time, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. God bless you guys.